because at no point in all of my years of football have I ever seen a defensive back coach teach a flat coverage technique that looks like this. That doesn't exist. What is up, everybody? It is Jake back with the MF Film Room. Thank you so much for being here. If you want to be up to date on all things EA College Football, hit that red subscribe button. Remember, we've got a special going on right now. If I get this channel to 1,000 subs by midnight on July 14th, I'm going to be getting one of my subscribers a free deluxe edition of the game. Xbox or PlayStation, doesn't matter. If you've already got the game, I'm going to send you $100 cash. So hit that red subscribe button, hit the like button too, and follow me on Twitter/X. That fame is growing. If you like college football content, go to my other channel, Master Football with Jake Posey. Link is in the description. But enough about all that EA college football content. Let's go. All right, guys, we are here waiting, and I'll let you know we are waiting with bated breath on the next update that EA is going to be giving us about EA college football. I will let you guys know this is a theory. This is just a theory here. But we had releases on Friday. I'm betting that they're going to do, we have 6 more Fridays until EA college football comes out. Again, I'm going to be getting the early access. You already know me. But 6 more Fridays until EA College Football comes out. So I wouldn't be surprised if we had 6 more updates. Friday release, Friday release, Friday release. Unfortunately, that sucks because that means every single Friday night from here until the game comes out, I'm going to be editing content. People, hey, you guys want to hang out on Friday? I'm like, I can't do that. I have stuff I got to do. But with that, we're probably only looking at a couple releases between here and when the game comes out. Like I said, 6 Fridays. We're probably aiming for something like that. They could go irregular. There is a rumor from Mike Straw. He thinks that the game, at least Team Builder, should be out by the first week of July. July 1st is a Monday. So we're looking at all those updates, and we're trying to find as much information as we can. And unfortunately, not everybody has been in love with the updates we've gotten so far. So we've been talking about the features. We've been talking about the abilities. We've been talking about lots of things there. However, nobody's really been praising the gameplay. I actually think that's not necessarily true, but one YouTuber says, I haven't seen very many people praise the gameplay, and I'm going to show you all the issues right now. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be reacting to a video about all the issues in EA College Football. Some of those issues are not, they're a little overblown. Some of those issues are 100% correct. Can they address those as they move on throughout the game? We will see. Let's get into that reaction right now. So here's the video from I'm That Matt. I'm going to make sure I include this video, which will have a link to his channel in the description as well. You can go check that out. Again, it's got a 10-minute video here talking about those specifics. Let's get into some of those specifics to see if we can address them. Are they fair? Are they not? Let's get going.
Literally, everybody was blown away from the deep dive gameplay trailer, but it wasn't the gameplay that satisfied people. It's what it looked like. And honestly, there was issues in the gameplay trailer. Up first is the reaction on this option play. Look at the DB right here above the SEC logo. I mean, he clearly sees what's going on, and then he just automatically turns around and act like he's in man coverage and just runs away from the play, and then instantly knows to attack the ball carrier when his head is turned away from the play. That's Madden for you. Madden in a nutshell right there. Gameplay just reskinned over.
So at first, I've had the same thought here about this play, because this was the one guy where my eyes went. I'm like, it's an option to this side. Everybody else seems to be pursuing this in terms of they're looking at the ball. This guy guarding the slot receiver comes up here. Where I think that it's a little bit of issue with the take here is he's like, this guy comes over here. Remember, in EA College Football, in NCAA Football 2014, in Madden sometimes, if receivers on run plays have verticals, they will sometimes chase them if it is man coverage. Totally makes sense for him if he's got in man coverage to come over here and hit him. And then he says, well, how does he know that it's a run play if he's looking at this way? Well, this guy comes up here to hit his DB. He's coming here. He's blocking 10 yards downfield. You would assume that's what it is. Again, could this be a situation where this defensive back here just doesn't have very high play recognition? Is he in man coverage and this guy ran a vertical? We don't know the answer to that question. We don't know what the play call was over here. These guys all look like they're pursuing. This guy is coming this way though. So again, no answer on that one. I was a little bit weirded out by this guy, but I think he's overblown this one a little bit on that analysis.
To college cosmetics. Guys, look at the 2 safeties right here. Why do they react like this? Look how they react. It's like they got faked out. And then they go and play their assignment. Why do they do that? This was like a coverage assignment bus, but majority of the gameplay trailer, they showed a lot of man blitz. Yeah, isn't that ironic that they showed more man blitz than zone coverages? And I guess this is the reason why.
Now, at first on this one, again, I did kind of the same thing here. Unfortunately, what we have to remember here, we don't know what the coverage call is. You can see this when we actually play this a little bit. This defensive back gets beat. He looks like he opens up his hips and then he's kind of trailing. I don't know if it's some sort of disguised cover 6 or something like that. This defensive back drops deep. This one comes in a little bit. This one comes in a little bit too. Remember, unfortunately, everybody knows that the computer reacts to your play. They already kind of know what the play is because you told them what it is. So are these guys coming in like that? I don't know the answer to that question. Is this just standard cover 4? Is this a disguised look? We don't know the answers to that. However, again, if we see these guys recover to that, this guy gets beat deep, this guy recovers back here. So if it's goofy movement, I understand that, criticism, but I'm checking this out here and I'm like, well, we do see the fact that as we see this slant right here, this linebacker right here doesn't just sit there. He does slide with that. So if we look at that zone coverage, I'm going to mute this here. If we look at the zone coverage of this, he's going to audible this guy to a slant. He checks the slant right here. And then we see him come across the face. Other games, he would just sit right here, but now he's starting to come a little bit this way, giving indication that, well, first of all, that's even and leaving. So that right there operates better than previous games.
They showed more man blitz than zone coverages, and I guess this is the reason why. Now, this looks like a cover 1, but you can't tell because it looks like a cover 3, but the 2 linebackers are playing yellow zone, but all the DBs is in man coverage. Kind of odd that works out, but it is what it is. But man or zone, just the way this DB reacts. He sees the quarterback, then he looks at the receiver. Of course, he locks into man coverage, but this will literally be a pick 6 or a pick every single time. And the way that he reacts, it's kind of odd that he acted that way.
This is one of the more fair criticisms we had from this video was the fact that we did see a lot of when the coverages that were working well were those man coverages. They didn't run a lot of zone coverages here. Now, the perspective he has that this is cover 1, and it looks like it's cover 1. It looks like it's cover 1 with a little cloud over here in the middle. Nobody's really guarding the tight end. It actually looks like more like this guy might be in man coverage here on him because he's looking more directly at him, whereas this guy just kind of drops back into his zone. But he's saying that this right here, again, it was a short curl. He comes up on the curl, and then there was a back shoulder like throw. You saw him directionally throw the ball back, and he says that it should have been picked off. I understand that a little bit there, but I think that what this game was trying to show here was it's in man coverage. He threw away from the DB, which is correct, but he threw into a covered guy, and he came up and deflected the ball out of his hands. I actually saw a couple of people who were like, oh, well, that wide receiver should catch onto that ball. Again, it's punishing you for the wrong read. The wrong read is to throw the curl against cover 1 where he's pressed up on him. Whether or not it was the pick 6, I mean, I can see the criticism there, but both of them have their feet stopped at some point, and the offense was punished for a bad decision. Well, now, were they punished to the degree that he wanted to? Not necessarily.
Now, this is probably a cover 6 or a cover 3 cloud over. Got cover 2 on the right side as this DB makes an interception in zone coverage, but the baseball term reactions, this is nothing new. Madden has done this where players go ahead and anticipate the route that the receiver is running beforehand and just it's an automatic pick every single time. Now, granted, it pops up the ball hawk ability, so of course the abilities is still going to be, overpowering and doing things like this, just like how we had it in Madden. It's nothing different. Now, of course, based on ratings, who knows if that's going to be a big factor, but as far as ability-wise, yeah, this is still going to be a major issue coming into College Football 25 that we already experienced with Madden 24.
At one point in there, he addressed this as a major issue. Unfortunately, the only issue with this play that I see, because he mentioned there that, oh yeah, well, these are going to be overpowering like in Madden. I think that unfortunately for this, the bigger issue we need to remember here is he's throwing an out route into a cover 2 flat. He's going to get picked off. That's what it's designed for. Now, fairness on his part, the reaction is not correct because at no point in all of my years of football have I ever seen a defensive back coach teach a flat coverage a flat coverage technique that looks like this. That doesn't exist. So that is correct. They need to get the game to operate a little more realistic. They need to clean something like that. You don't do a baseball turn like that. But again, it's not unrealistic to throw the ball into the flat and have a defensive back who's in flat coverage pick it off. That's not unrealistic there. So baseball turn, not great, but the game operates. Again, it operates as it's supposed to. You throw the out route into a flat coverage against a good corner, you are going to get picked off. The game is operating the way it needs to.
Now, a lot of people had headaches with drop passes and, just instant midair collisions. And it looks like there's going to be more issues with this when players should have their DBs knock out the ball or play the ball. And yet, if you get a reaction or not, it seems like it's going to go more in favor now to the offensive players. This is going to be another frustrating issue.
I didn't really see this one hit very much on this one. I think what he's trying to say here is that when you throw into coverage, are your DBs going to make those plays on there? However, you see where the ball is put, and especially with this QB icon, one thing I think this is showing here is the fact that the QB icon, the ability to throw somebody open, is going to be more of a thing in EA College Football than previous games. Again, it's not just somebody's in man coverage, he's automatically covered. We all know the axiom from football, perfect throw always beats perfect coverage. I don't really know what the complaint is here on this one. So again, I think the game is operating as it should, where you can throw somebody open even in man coverage. First of all, this guy's beat. So if you're even, you're leaving. The other one was an incredible catch. Hit him in the hands, caught it on the sideline. I don't really know what the complaint is there.
Of course, we know that it's recycled animations. You guys look at this stiff arm from the Michigan player. Now, I'd done the same exact stiff arm. The animation was cut short because I was out of bounds, but look, it's identical, people. It still blows my mind how people get baited from visuals and then forget about the gameplay.
Unfortunately, it's not the same animation. And you see this here. But remember here, this little high step that he does after the stiff arm, at no point does it happen during this one. And remember, he said, oh, well, it's a stiff arm. There's only so many different things that can happen in a play. So if the narrative is that he did, I saw goalpost, man. Dude, it's a reskin from Madden. It kind of gives the same vibes there. Again, these are not the same animations. You see the fact this guy's leg kicks high. At no point does his leg kick high ever on that. So again, are you saying that, they have stiff arm animations or they have the exact copied and pasted code from the game into the new game? Unfortunately, it looks like the answer to that is no.
Look at this, another instance where I almost had the identical animations play out. I get the spin, break off tackle, but I didn't get to face up with that same hit stick animation that we have seen in Madden. You guys see it right here in college football trailer. Same exact thing. Same exact outcome. Look at this. Yeah, it's identical, man.
All right, unfortunately, it is not identical because you can see the fact that, one, this guy pushes him together. Two, this guy hits him with the shoulder. This guy's facing down when he falls. This guy's head hits down when he falls. So, again, it's not the same animations. It's very clearly not the same animation. Now, the spin, big hit, making sure that that's something that is something that happens in flow is something that looks like it's in the game. But in terms of if this is literally copied from this code, entered into this code, and that's the gameplay, again, looks like the answer to that is no. So I think that we watched that trailer and we were able to see the gameplay. A couple of people weren't necessarily with the gameplay. One thing that I did see, though, with the game is we didn't see a lot of zone coverage. Zone coverage, that is one of the more fair assessments of that. We didn't really see zone coverage operate the way that it necessarily needs to. So what's going to happen with that? I mean, again, they can tune that. They can update that. Zone coverage is harder than man coverage. Man coverage is pretty easy to enter into the... Okay, it's easier to enter into the game. I'm not going to pretend like I'm some sort of software developer. But again, we'll see the zone coverage. Could there be issues with it early on? We'll check that out when the game comes out. All right, guys, get in the comments right now. What do you think? And again, after reviewing a little bit, there were a couple fair points in there. I do think there's a couple things that were kind of reaching there. What do you think about the criticism? What are you most worried about this game? To be fair, I look forward to this game so much, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend like it is absolutely positively a 100% perfect game in every way, shape, or form. You get in the comments right now and let me know. All right, guys, that's it. Thank you so much for being here. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. And remember, if you subscribe, get me to 1,000. by July 14th at midnight, and one of you guys is going to get a free copy of the game, the deluxe copy that comes out a couple days early, PlayStation or Xbox, and if you've already got it, you get $100 cash. So subscribe. Thank you so much for being here. I am out.